Are you buying a house in Georgia? That is so exciting. Can be overwhelming, and let's be honest, it's not as simple as scrolling Zillow and clicking buy now.
Welcome back to our YouTube channel. I'm Nikki Midget. This is Erin Madden. In this video, we are going to give you the ultimate guide to buying a home in Georgia. From where to start, what it costs, and to the moment that you finally hold those keys in your hand. If you're a first-time home buyer or a seasoned housing market veteran, this video will take all of the guesswork out of the process and help you avoid the most common pitfalls.
Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly what to expect, how to prepare, and why starting early can make all the difference. Let's get going.
First up, let's talk time frame. How long does it really take to buy a house in Georgia? Spoiler alert, it is longer than spending the weekend scrolling Zillow.
Definitely. From starting your search to closing the deal with our team, the entire process is highly personalized. It can happen as quickly as 45 to 60 days, and sometimes longer, depending on how particular you are or the dynamics of the real estate market. Here is a general overview of the timing breakdown for you to prepare.
House hunting is where your journey begins, and just like planning a dream vacation to France, the effort that you put in here sets the tone for the rest of the process. Think of it as researching the perfect destination, picking the best accommodations, and planning your must-see attractions. In real estate, this translates into narrowing down your must-haves and your nice-to-haves, researching different neighborhoods, and touring homes that fit your needs. Starting early gives you all the time to explore your options without feeling pushed, because no one wants to settle for a 3-star hotel when you're dreaming of a view of the Eiffel Tower.
Beginning the process sooner means you can fully understand the market and your options, especially in a competitive environment when homes can go under contract quickly when they're priced correctly and marketed well.
That's one of our favorite things to do.
The more informed you are, the more confident you'll feel making decisions. Plus, if life throws you a curveball, like a work obligation instead of your house hunting trip, or an unexpected bidding war, you'll have the flexibility to pivot without sacrificing what matters most.
The key takeaway here is this: start early, way earlier than you actually think you might need to. That's exactly why we're here, to give you that head start.
All right, now let's talk money. Specifically, the upfront costs you'll need to budget for when buying a home in Georgia. It's crucial for you to know the costs you'll encounter so you can plan accordingly. Let's go over the big four: earnest money, a home inspection, appraisal costs, and your down payment.
Earnest money is the deposit that you pay when your offer is accepted to show the seller that you're actually serious about moving forward with the purchase. In Georgia, this is typically around 1% of the purchase price, although it can vary depending on the market. The good news, this money is not lost. It's credited back to you at closing, reducing the amount of cash that you're going to need to bring to closing.
A home inspection is a non-negotiable step to protect your investment. We would never advise a client to forego an inspection. You can expect to pay anywhere from $350 to $600, depending on the size and features of the home. The purpose of the inspection is to identify potential issues, from plumbing and electrical problems to structural concerns, so you can address them before you're locked into the purchase. This is not a step that you should skip, and if you're working with someone that advises you otherwise, we highly recommend that you reconsider.
Next up is the appraisal. If you're applying for a mortgage, it is highly likely that your lender will require an appraisal to ensure that the home is worth the price that you have agreed to pay for it. Appraisal costs typically range between $400 and $600. This is a safeguard to both you and your lender to ensure that you are not overpaying for a property and protecting the lender's investment.
Finally, let's look at the down payment, which is the biggest upfront cost associated with buying a home and varies depending on what type of loan you're using. For a conventional loan, you're looking at 5 to 20% of the purchase price, while FHA loans allow as little as 3.5% down. If you're a veteran or active duty military, you could be using a VA loan with no down payment at all. The key here is understanding what's required for your specific loan and planning ahead to make sure you have the funds on hand in order to accomplish your goal.
By being prepared for these costs, you will not only avoid surprises, but also set yourself up for a smoother buying process. Budgeting for these items early can take the financial stress out of what should be an exciting milestone.
All right, so now you know the funds required to purchase a home and the time frame you should consider. We also want to make sure that you understand how important it is to have an agent that not only educates you, but also advocates for you throughout the entire process. If you've been following the news for a while, you've probably heard about the lawsuit that shook up the real estate industry in 2024.
Here's what that means for you in Georgia. Buyers must now sign a buyer brokerage agreement that outlines the services that their agent will provide and how that agent is compensated before they ever set foot in their first home.
Under these new regulations, buyers agree to their agent's commission up front, with the understanding that their financial responsibility may change depending on the homes that they see and is accomplished at the closing table. In many cases, sellers still do offer to pay a portion or even all of the buyer's agent's fees, which then reduces the financial obligation for you as the buyer. However, if the seller does not cover the full fee, you as the buyer are responsible for the remaining amount as outlined in the buyer brokerage agreement.
This change is supposed to create more transparency, though we understand that it might feel clear as mud. We are more than happy to have an in-depth conversation with you, discussing these changes and how they impact you as a home buyer if you have any questions.
These changes should give you more control throughout the process.
But it's important to discuss the details with your agent up front so there's no surprises later, because nobody likes a surprise.
At least not surprises when you're buying a house. And we would be doing you a disservice if we did not tell you choosing the right agent is more important than ever. You have to make sure you're working with someone who is looking out for your best interests, explaining every single step, and keeping you informed throughout the entire process.
Many years ago when I was moving to Savannah, I ended up firing 3 agents. Sure, they were nice enough and they showed me the houses that I asked to see, but I didn't feel like they were actually working for me, and they certainly were not educating me on the process. This experience was the catalyst for me becoming a real estate agent all the way back in 2017, and now we have built our entire business on educating our clients, advocating for their best interests, and providing ongoing communication every step of the way.
Buying a house isn't just about finding the right house. It's about understanding your budget, knowing the process, having a plan, and making a solid investment. That is what is accomplished when you work with an excellent real estate agent or team like the Wellspring Group.
If you take one thing away from this video, let it be this: start preparing early. If you found this video helpful, we would love for you to hit that like button and subscribe to our channel so you never miss one of our videos.
And if you're thinking about making the move to Georgia or just want to chat about your options, you can grab our contact information below. And be sure that you follow us on social media. We would love to help you make Georgia your home.